Hi guys, Konstantin here from Konstantin's Gaming Channel. How are you? Today I've got a special unboxing for you guys. It's a motherboard and it's becoming one of my favorites so far. And the motherboard name is, as you will probably see on the box, is Asus ROG Strix Z690-I. The I stands from ITX. It's a mini-itx motherboard. Although it's very small, it packs a punch. It comes loaded with a ton of features, and it's best suited for people who are looking to build very small builds in ITX cases or mini ITX cases or MATX cases. So as I said, although it's small, it does pack a punch. It comes with a lot of features. So I'm going to start with, well, it's Z690 Z series, so it's made for Intel. It supports latest generation of Intel CPUs, so that's Alder Lake, and it will support the coming Raptor Lake generation as well. So you have two Intel generations that will be supported on this motherboard, which means it has great upgradability. Let's start with the features. So main features are you've got I'm just gonna say them from the box. So you've got support for the latest Alder Lake CPU, which we discussed that it's a DDR5 motherboard, which means it supports the latest RAM available. I know DDR5 is expensive, but considering the latest news, it apparently seems that DDR5 will go cheaper. And as I said, I think you can find 16 or 42 gig DDR modules for a very good price at the moment. You can even look them up. There's people selling them second hand. So in terms of pricing, yeah, and definitely in terms of performance, DDR5 is way better than DDR4. It features, I believe the main thing is it features more memory bandwidth, bigger speed, although the latency is a bit higher, but because it's faster, it compensates, uses less power. There's a lot of features of DDR5 that make it a lot more better than DDR4. Now it's got a PCI Express 5.0 slot, which is the one for the GPU, and that means it's future-proof. Although even the next generation, the 7000 series from AMD or the 40 series from NVIDIA, will not be PCIe 5.0 from what I've heard, from what the rumors are saying. It will have good support for future GPUs that will come with PCI Express 5.0. So you've got your future-proof there as well. Obviously, it's got support for Windows 11. It's got RGB as well. Right. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to dive in, and I'm going to show you guys the motherboard. In terms of manufacturing date, it's been manufactured for over a year now. It started being produced in October 2021. So, well, not over a year, but close to a year, let's say. Right, before we go into the accessories, I'm just going to show you the motherboard itself. Now, don't be scared. It's going to be really tiny if you haven't seen my mini ITX cards before. Right. This motherboard itself is not new. It's like new. I've just bought it used from eBay. The seller said it was never started on. It was just bought, installed, but then the client didn't want it, so they just had to resell it. Right, so such a beautiful board. Look at it. It's very, very small. It does not feature a shield on the back, but it's very small, so that really doesn't matter. It does feature a fully covered shield here, so it's an integrated shield, so you don't have to fit it or anything like this. It just comes already integrated. There is a fan here used to cool the VRMs, so I'm just going to show you the VRMs. So it's got 10 plus 1 phases VRM wise. And there's a small fan here which apparently is not very loud. I haven't turned this motherboard on, so I can't tell you from experience, but from what I've seen the reviews, it's not very loud. It doesn't start all the time. It starts only when the VRMs heat up really much. Well, they heat up a lot. right? There really isn't too many inputs on this board itself. So you've got your CPU power input here on top, and you've got your 24-pin ATX motherboard input here. You've got support for USB 3.0. You've got support for the new USB input. You've got 2 RAM slots, CPU, and that's it. These 2 things that stick out here, they look like USB 3.0 things. They're actually for a card, which I'm going to show it to you in a minute. You've got a shielded PCI 5.0 slot here on the bottom. You've got, in terms of fan pins, because this is one of the things I was looking at as well, you've got 2 fan pins on top, one for the AIO and one for the fan, CPU fan. You've got a RGB header on top as well, and you've got another pin for your fan here. So you've got 3 fan pins in total, 1 RGB on top. There's one this is RGB, the 12 volt one on top, and on the bottom you've got the new Gen 2 RGB pin. Right, and in terms of other features, if you see this little bulk here, this is actually a contraption that they've made, so you would fit 2 SSDs. So it actually fits in 2 NVMe SSDs, one on top of the other. It's really nifty. So to be honest, most of them have it one in front and one on the back of the board, which is harder to access, and it might heat up and get in contact with the case and stuff. So it's not great, the ones that have it on the back. This one just has 2 on the front. I think that's a good idea. It's a bit tricky to get in there because you have a couple of screws to open, about 3-4 screws, but I prefer them in front, to be honest. And each SATA SSD is cooled on 2 sides, because there are within this contraption here, I don't know if you can see it, there are top cooling thermal metallic little, what you call them, bits, and there's one on top and one on the bottom as well. So there's 2 and 2, so it gets cooled. The SSD gets properly cooled. Now I don't know if this is one of those sockets that is prone to bending, so if you want to buy one of those devices that prevent bending for your Alder Lake CPU, go ahead. Just make sure it fits in your build. And as I said, there's not much else that comes with the board itself in terms of features. I didn't show you the shield. So shield wise, you've got your sound here. It supports 7.1 audio. You've got your fiber audio here. You've got a Wi-Fi 6E antenna as well. The antenna is really nice. USB 5 USB, sorry. You've got 4, 6, 7 USB ports, different speeds, 3.1 and 3.0. You've got Type-C 2 ports, which is quite generous, to be honest. You've got a HDMI input as well, and you've got two buttons here. You've got a BIOS flashback and a CMOS clear button. This is really useful, the CMOS clear, just in case you mess up the settings. You press this button here. I'll have a read on the manual, but I would read up the manual first. But you press this button here and it probably clears your CMOS, which is quite nice. It's quite a nice feature to have, because honestly, it's so small I don't even see what the CMOS battery is. Right, so that's in terms of the shield, right? So you got your antennas, you got some cable ties, you got USB extension here, so you can go from one USB to 2 USBs. That could be useful. You've got your Asus little key holder here. You've got a little board that I'm going to show you in a minute, and you've got a couple of SATA SATA cables, which again I've got a billion of Wi-Fi antenna, which is really nice. So there you go. It's the last gen Wi-Fi antenna from Asus. So So although it is Wi-Fi 6E, don't be scared. It's backwards compatibility. So whatever Wi-Fi you have at home, it pretty much works with this one. But if you're getting like a new router with Wi-Fi 6 and then you standard Wi-Fi 6E, you are covered there. The speed is not improved. It's just the connectivity and the fact that you can connect multiple devices at the same time. That's the main thing the Wi-Fi 6 does. Now there's a little box here which contains a little board, which is something very specific to this motherboard itself. So as I said, there's two USB sticky things on the bottom of it, and they are for this board. So this is an extension board here, and this connects to the motherboard itself via the two pins, the two connectors here. I'm just going to connect it and show it to you. I'll put it on the ground so I can connect it. Boop, boop, boop. There you go. So what this thing does is it adds connectivity for 4 SATA ports. It has your pins for start, power, reset, LED. Ooh, one of them is bent here. It has a fan pin and what's this? That's not fan. Oh, it has your speaker here pin. I'm gonna have a look at it because it's not straight. And you've got your more RGB here as well. So this thing pretty much minimizes the surface of the motherboard and adds a bit more features. You can remove it as well, and you can control the there's 2 pins in the back of the motherboard right here where you can actually control the power on buttons. So if you don't want to connect this board because it might be too big, too bulky, or it looks ugly, or you don't need it, you can just control there's 2 pins on the motherboard which you can control the power on, power off button. And yeah, this will be part of a build where I'm actually going to connect a 3090 to it and a 12900K series CPU. So this will be part of a really beautiful build which I'm going to do in the future. But till then, that's pretty much it. Thank you very much for watching. If you've got any questions, put them on the comments. If you want to know anything in particular about this board, put them on the comments as well. I'll answer it. And yeah, if you want to see more videos from me, please subscribe. I'm not sponsored for this video. This board, I bought it for my own money, for my own builds. Yeah, so yeah, even if you're gonna know about it, just let me know. Thank you very much for watching. Cheers, guys. Bye.